Ask a stupid question and you'll get a stupid answer. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with Supersize Your Business. And today's idiom or expression is ask a stupid question to get a stupid answer. And the sister question to that, of course, is there is no stupid question. And it was really fun doing the research and looking into this because I know the power of questions. I learned a long time ago, like 40 years ago, from Tony Robbins, the power of questions. We think in questions, and I don't know who he learned it from. It doesn't matter. It's when we learn something and we apply it in our life that it makes a difference for us. And I think we've talked about primary questions before, but the whole topic of stupid questions I find fascinating. It's, the word question's been around since the 13th century. To question things, I'm going to grab my magnifying glass because some of these were interesting. A question of whether something was a question of something or not came around in the 15th century. Undoubtedly was meaning, to ask a question. Undoubtedly was in the middle 15th century. No questions asked came about in 1879. And to be out of the question, 1700. To be in question, 1610s. And the question mark was actually developed in 1849. So it hasn't been that long that we've actually used question marks and asked questions in any area or aspect of our life. But the truth is, we're always asking questions. We're always evaluating. We're always judging. And we're always questioning everything that we hear, see, or that all of our senses bring into us to evaluate them. And we automatically, on a subconscious level, ask questions like, is this important to me or not? Is this dangerous or not? What's the risk of this? Everything we do, everything we say, we ask in questions. Is this pen red or is it pink? Is this pen black? We see a pen and we're like, oh, is this a black pen? Because I need to sign something in a black pen. Now, as someone who's been told they asked a stupid question before, depending on the relationships you have and the businesses you're involved in and what you're doing, you might be told, hey, that's a stupid question. Or when people think that a question is stupid or ridiculous, they will say things like, well, that was a stupid question. Or if you ask a stupid question, you're going to get a stupid answer. If you ask a silly question, you're going to get a silly answer. But again, is a question really stupid, or is it our desire to understand something? I know I've probably asked a lot of stupid questions in my life in other people's opinion, but I ask them because if I'm thinking it, chances are hundreds of other people or thousands of other people, if you're online, it could be millions of other people are thinking and wondering the same thing, but no one's asked the question yet. I think that's why there's so much engagement in question posts that are asked in whatever social media networks you might or might not participate in. So how do we apply this to building and growing and supersizing our business? And again, Confucius was the one that said there's no stupid, or, all the way back to Confucius, the idea of no stupid question. Carl Sagan made it popular as well. There's a whole lot of famous people that have been associated with the topic of questions because we are questioning machines. So I like questioning frameworks. I think I've shared before the who, what, where, when, why, and how is a journalistic framework. Not whatever you feel about journalists. The way to get to the facts about something I learned a long, long time ago back in high school, you ask who, what, where, when, why, and how. And that served me very well in building and growing and supersizing different businesses because it makes sure I consider the different things and the different perspectives and the different topics that are important. Every decision-making tool and analysis tool I've ever used is based on questions, right? It's based on questioning. All the lessons learned are we ask ourselves, what did I learn from this experience or this situation? And we move forward with the knowledge of an experience we had. Maybe it wasn't a great experience, or maybe it was a great experience. Good experiences we want to repeat in our businesses. Bad experiences we want to learn from so we don't make the same mistakes again. So curious today, excuse my throat. What's your favorite question to ask about your business? We all operate, and I learned this from Tony Robbins as well, on a primary question in our whole life, but we can choose a primary question for our business. And I'm going to grab my notes because I was just reviewing something from one of my friend and mentors, Russell Brunson, and he has a question that he has us ask for our businesses. And he deals, of course, in funnels and online businesses, and that doesn't matter because it can apply to any business. And he says, we help blank to blank through blank because, and so through blank is our business and the solution that we offer. Who do we help? It's critical that we know who we're here to serve. I was thinking about this with respect to politicians today, too, and I'm like, who do they serve? Are they serving the population or the people that they represent or supposed to represent, or are they serving themselves? We have a lot of examples of people in every field that are just serving themselves. They're not really serving other people. And that can work in the short term, but in the long term, it really doesn't work. So what is the primary question you're asking in your business? I'll give a personal example of this because I think it helps to understand that we have the power to change our personal question. Prior to my sudden cardiac arrest in 2010, I realized, and I didn't realize it until after I came out of the coma and was back and was thinking about, well, what the heck, how did I have a sudden cardiac arrest? What and why and how, who, what, where, when, why did this happen to me? And I realized and I remembered about the primary question. And then I started to think about, well, what was I thinking? What was I asking myself prior to this event? Because this was a pivotal event in my life. And I realized that WTF was my primary question. Now, if you don't know what WTF stands for, Google it. But that was literally my primary question. Well, the problem with that primary question, or as a primary question, meant in my life, I was always asking what was wrong with things, right? WTF means what the F, how did this happen? Why is this happening, etc. And I was filtering everything through there was something wrong or it wasn't as it should be in my imagination. Well, guess what? That means I'm always frustrated. I'm always stressed out. I'm always trying to fix things. And it was not a really awesome question to live in. So then I switched that over because I thought, okay, I can choose to replace that negative primary question with a more positive primary question. And the first one I came up with that felt right for me at the time was, what am I creating now? Think about the difference between WTF in every situation versus what am I creating now? Because if I caught myself thinking negative thoughts or limiting beliefs or things that were contradictory, what am I creating now? I'm creating more chaos. I'm creating more confusion. I'm creating more stress and drama and frustration. So it became a really powerful tool in my life for changing me and what I was thinking. And guess what happens when you change yourself? Everything around you changes and moves toward what you want. So today, I challenge you to come up with and think of what is the primary question you want for the business you're supersizing and creating. And maybe I'll share mine tomorrow. Anyway, have an awesome day. I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Keep asking those questions because I personally believe there's no such thing as a stupid question.